You know, picking the right aerial lift can totally make or break your project's efficiency. So today, we're going to break down the Genie lineup to make that choice super simple. By the time we're done here, you'll know exactly which machine you need, whether it's for a tiny indoor job or a massive warehouse.
So picture this, you're on the job site. The work is, say, 20 feet up. You got to get your team up there safely, right? But you can't afford to waste hours on setup. Ladders, way too risky. And as you'll see, some of the old school methods can be a real productivity killer.
I mean, think about it. Hauling in all that scaffolding, piecing it all together, and then tearing it all down again, it's a total time suck, especially for those quick in and out tasks. And in tight indoor spaces, a lot of the time, it's not even an option. There has to be a smarter way to work.
And that smarter way is the Aerial Work Platform, or AWP for short. Its entire reason for being is built around one simple goal: getting you up to the work height safely and letting you get started fast.
Okay, so let's get into it. The whole Genie lineup we're looking at today really splits into two different families. And if you can understand this one key difference, everything else just falls into place. So on one side, you've got the AWP series. These are your manual push-around lifts. You literally position them by hand. Then on the other side, you have the runabout series, which are self-propelled, meaning you can actually drive them from the platform. This one difference, how they move, completely changes how and where you'd use them.
First up, let's talk about the AWP series. I like to call these the portability specialists. Everything about them is designed to be lightweight, easy to move around, and just perfect for those set-it-and-forget-it jobs where you'll be working in one spot for a while.
The place you're going to start in this family is the AWP-20S. This is that classic workhorse you see pretty much everywhere. It's the absolute go-to for a single person doing maintenance or some light construction work. And here's why it's so dang practical. It has this clever tilt-back frame that lets you roll it right through a standard doorway. No problem. The outriggers have a tiny footprint so you can get set up right up against a wall. And best of all, the whole setup is tool-free, getting you from the truck to the task in just a couple of minutes. So what's the reach? Here's the first number you need to know for the AWP-20S, a maximum working height of 6.10 meters. That's just over 20 feet. Think of that as your starting point for the series. Okay, so what if you need to go higher? Well, the lineup just scales up logically from there with the AWP-25S and the AWP-30S. You're getting the exact same portability and super easy setup, just with more vertical reach.
And you can see how this works, right? It's really simple. As the model number goes up, so does your reach. The AWP-25S gets you to 7.62 meters, and the AWP-30S takes you all the way up to 9.14 meters. That's about 30 feet. It's just a clear, simple ladder of capability.
So, to wrap up this family, the AWP series is hands down the best choice for single-person jobs. If you're doing things like facility maintenance, changing out high bay lights, or picking stock in one specific area, these machines were practically built for you.
All right, now let's switch gears and talk about the Runabout series. If the AWP is all about portability, the Runabout is all about one thing: productivity. It's built for movement. The absolute game changer here is that self-propelled drive system. You can move the lift while you're standing on the platform. Add in a 0-degree turning radius, which is incredible for tight aisles, and these really smooth joystick controls, and what you have is a machine built for jobs where you have to constantly move around.
So in the Runabout series, you've basically got two options, the GR12 and the GR15. The main difference is just a little extra reach on the 15. But check this out, here is the huge upgrade from the AWP series. Both of these models can lift 227 kilograms. That is a massive deal, because it means you can bring a serious amount of tools and materials up with you.
And this is the environment where the Runabout just absolutely shines. Think about places like warehouses, big box stores, or sprawling manufacturing plants where you need to move from task to task quickly, like for inventory checks or fixing something overhead. Being able to just drive the lift to the next spot is a massive time saver. Okay, so we've got these two very different families. The big question is, how do you actually make the final call? Let's boil it all down.
This really breaks it down nicely. Look, if your top priority is getting the maximum height possible and you just need to get a machine into one tight spot, you're going to go with the AWP series. It'll get you up over 9 meters. But if your day involves moving constantly from point A to point B to point C, the Runabout is the no-brainer. You trade a little bit of that top-end height for a massive boost in productivity.
So at the end of the day, it really just comes down to asking yourself 3 simple questions about your job. First, how high do I actually need to go? Second, how much room do I have to move around? And third, what's the total weight of me, my tools, and any materials I need to lift? Your answers to those questions will point you straight to the right machine.
And there you have it. It all boils down to one simple question. Are you trying to solve for portability or for productivity? Is it about getting into one tricky spot, or is it about moving quickly between lots of spots? Answering that question is the key, and now you've got the tools to do it confidently for any job that comes your way.